Hey guys, welcome to another session of Dark Souls 2. And this one we're going to be doing part 2 of Forest of the Fallen Giants. So we're going to pick up where I left off last, where I died. And there's my body. And if you guys saw the last video, I got swarmed by about 3 undead. So pretty vicious. So we're going to head back to that room with the crossbows, and I already had killed one guy. Here comes another one, and we're just gonna take this guy out real quick. Not too bad. Pretty simple, and that's what you're gonna want to do in this area. You're gonna want to kind of flush them out, because obviously taking them on as a group with at least with little room is nearly impossible. So this guy just pick apart here with some arrows, no problem there. And I think there might be about 1 or 2 guys left. But we're going to just scope around a little bit. I always like to check my surroundings, especially when I hear certain noises. Sometimes you'll hear noises in the game, and I don't know if it's random, I don't know if it's a glitch, I don't know if they put it in there to mess with your head, but usually you'll just hear a random noise either in the distance or seems like it's close by, and whenever I hear that I like to look around. So, alright, so go in here. And it looks like everything's cleared out, no problem. I managed to flush them all out one by one and take them out. So I'm just going to loot these bodies here. Great soul arrow. And large soul of lost undead. Blue wooden shield. Now the shield I'm using actually came with the game as a code, the black armor pack. So I'm still using that shield. Seems to be pretty good in the early going. So I'm just going to pick this guy apart from the top. No point in getting into a melee fight if I don't have to. If I can pick any enemy off from a distance, I do it. That's why having a bow and arrow and having some good skill with it is, to me at least, very critical. So I took him out, and we're going to proceed forward. Just always checking my surroundings. Even if I know I killed everything, I always check around again, because especially in this game so far, Dark Souls, the Soul series, always has a knack for throwing in a curveball every now and then, and an enemy will pop up and just kind of take you out, and you never even saw it was there. It just kind of pops up out of nowhere. So now this device here, Pharaoh's Lockstone, the lady back at the bonfire actually sells that. So I'll go back and I eventually do pick that up, although I edited it out of this video, but I do pick it up because I know I'm going to need it. So here I open this chest, and immediately what alarms me to the fact that it was a trap was the smoke coming out of it. So keep an eye out for things like that. And also, you'll see me occasionally go through the game and actually hit some of the treasure chests, because I want to make sure there's that none of them are mimics and will kill me. So now the way I knew how to hit that door for the enemy to open it was the little sign down there. I read that on one of the parts that I edited out. So that's how I knew that. So you know, look around for the signs, see what they say, just be careful. Some people do like to troll. So far I've been pretty lucky with not getting any trolls from signs on the floor. But so this here was a very challenging fight, because they all came at me at once. 2 of them have a halberd and 1 has a spear, so very difficult, because they all have range over me. So I pretty much kind of have to dance around, wait for my openings, and then strike. And a couple of times I came very close to death. But that's why it's good to have your flask, a couple of life gems. See right here, boom, right as I was filling up. And that's why I kind of like the life gems. The drawback of the life gems is that they only fill up your health over time. It's not instant like the flask, but you can move while using them, and they don't have as long of a delay. Whereas the flask heals you instantly, but it takes a minute to do it. See, so right here, I managed to kill 2 of them, but that guy right there stabbed me pretty good. So, but I'm in a position now where you know, it's a much better chance of me winning. The good thing about these enemies with these big long-range weapons, like the spears and the halberds, is that they're pretty heavy. So once they take a big swing, they usually leave themselves open, and a couple of hits and they're down. So I proceed through the door here, and once again, there's a chest, and you'll see right here. I will strike it, see? And I got that from, you know, I heard that there were mimics in the game, just like in Dark Souls, the game before this. And so instantly, I make sure now that I hit the chest at least once before I open it. some of the wooden chests you got to be careful. If your weapon is really strong and you hit it, you could actually destroy the chest, and you won't get the item. So be very selective as to whether what chest you hit. Most wooden chests, it can take one hit, but like I said, if you have a strong weapon, it's not going to work. So I came back here to buy some life gems from the lady, so that way I could get my energy back, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to equip them real quick. So I, take to the corner and very carefully just, again, even though I've been here a couple of times already and I know that I'm in a safe spot, you just never know. You really don't. So, alright. So I proceed up the stairs here because earlier I didn't notice it was there. This is the first time I noticed it. And again, that goes back to me saying, always check your surroundings. If you notice while I play through the game, my shield is always up. I take no chance. And this door, it just looked flimsy. If you pay attention to the doors, you can pretty much tell which doors can be, probably knocked off. That one was a lot lighter than some of the other doors I've run into. And when I saw it was locked, I kind of just whacked at it. When I saw it shake, I knew right there that I could probably just, beat it open. So, hand axe and a radiant life gem. And once again, now here's a wooden chest. And I took my chances to open it because I'm very much aware that if I hit it too hard, I can just break it and lose the item altogether. So in this room there's another chest, but what I forgot was there was an undead soldier on the floor back there. So because I forgot to take him out, and I did remember he was there, that's why I turned around instantly, because I figured he'd follow me in, and that's what he did. And again, this is another soldier with a big two-hand weapon. They do some good damage, but once they make that big swing and miss, they can go down pretty easy. Now see, this chest I hit, it was a metal chest, so no worries there. And this one has a shard in it, I believe. Yes, Estus Flask shard. So later on in this video, I edited out my trip back to Majura to get the shard and get some items and stuff like that. Now that item up there, I didn't notice it till after I came back down, and I didn't want to bother to go back to get it. So I proceeded, knowing that I'd be back here and I'd just get it either way. So this is the first time I'm taking this jump off this ledge. It's pretty much, at this point, one area I hadn't really explored yet. So I'm just kind of looking around, scouting around, seeing what enemies are out there, and hopefully making, as you can see there, I jumped down and I lost a little bit of energy, but I was very skeptical at first because a couple of other jumps that I made that I thought I could live through, I did not. But this one was fine. So again, here you see another enemy. I know I could jump down and start fighting him, but why bother? Just take out my bow and arrow, make life easy for myself, and just try and pick him out from the top. And as you can see, I'm not close enough. I keep hitting the ledge there. But he backs up and gives me an open shots and take him out. So, and there's another enemy right underneath this. When you jump down, he's going to be right behind you. I did notice him see right there to the right, the cracks. I did notice him there, so I immediately turn around. And he's got no shield, so I just attack right away. So, and then again, I proceed down and continue to just check my surroundings. You'll see me doing that a lot. I'll stop, I'll have my shield up, I'll look around, and it's always because I'm trying to play it safe. Now, this little hole here, it kind of fooled me. Don't let it fool you. This is the hallway that you actually enter when you first get to the tower. So you don't have to go through there. It's nothing new. You've actually been down there before. You don't see me go through there in this video, but as I was recording it and playing through, I did actually go through that hole, and that's when I noticed that I had been there before. So I took that out because I try not to I try to edit out any areas that I've been through before, but realistically, you're gonna go through these areas 100 times between dying, between having to double back and get items or whatever the case may be. So with the videos, once I run through the area once, if I die and I have to run through it again and take out the enemies, I don't bother putting it back in. I just edit that out and then I pick up where I left off or where I died. So, and that's what's happening here. I take this guy out and you'll see a small cut here where I just kind of decided not to even see right there. And I decided not to leave that part in. So Now here, once again, since it's my first time in the area, I tried to jump across to that ledge to get that item, but you really don't need to. Once you, and of course right here, my momentum takes me off the ledge and I fall and die. So, and deaths like that are so frustrating because, you know, if an enemy bests me or if I make a wrong call in jumping or whatever and I die, then that's fine. But if it's something like that where I just take my momentum, it's kind of frustrating. So I tried to jump again because at this point I still don't know that I can run around and get the item. So I take this guy out, keep myself under control, get my body, and then I'm just going to proceed from there. Now, again, you'll see me here scouting around. Very, very important to do that when playing this game. And no matter how much preparing you do, this is always going to be something that gets you. So, as you can see, I was able to go and get this item without having to jump from the other ledge. And it is a very important item. It's a human effigy, or effigy, please, if you will. And make sure you grab that item. Those things, from what I understand, are extremely rare. They work very much like the I forget what they call them in Dark Souls, but the life, the little round things that take you away from being hollow. I can't remember the name; it escapes me now. But they play the same role. Only in this one, I don't think you can farm them like you could in Dark Souls, and they're few and far between. And I think at this point I might have used one, but I have about 2 or 3 in my inventory that, you know, just kind of sitting there. So, and once again, every now and then, just you can read a message, and again, for the most part, I've been lucky at this point. I haven't had any trolled messages, so I try not to look at them all, but every now and then I'll check one out, and you know, take my chances. So from up here, you can see there's a number of enemies, and I'm trying to pick them apart. And what happens is, once you hit them, they're going to run up that tree trunk right there. And see, that guy's coming right here. But since I already started hitting him, just one shot, he's gone. And while that happens, I believe there's another soldier who was attempting to make his way up. But, yep, there he is right there. And once again, these are 2 guys that I already handicapped before they got up here. And I can just take him out. Now, he got a couple of lucky shots, and I was very complacent. But fortunately, I took him out. And I used a life gem, and I just kind of proceed from there. And that's one of the reasons, as much as I practice always having my shield up, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes I get a little lazy, I get a little cocky, and I got to be careful. And something like that just reminds me that not to let my guard down at any given moment. So this guy I just kind of pick apart from up here, and again, he'll start making his way around, and once he gets up here, I'll just pluck him with another arrow, and he's good to go. And then there's a guy right there. So you got to be very careful, because if you don't look around carefully enough, these guys, they're pretty well hidden, and they will sneak up on you. And there's another guy right there. I never even saw him. And these guys have some crazy aggro range, but fortunately I saw him coming from a mile away, and that's why it's important to look around. Always important to look around, because these guys will pop out of nowhere. They lay on the floor, and it looks like another dead body, and next thing you know, they're all over you. So now over here, once again, doing what I do, look around, make sure there's nobody else down there. So once I see it looks pretty clear, I just continue, and you can see all these blood stains, probably from people who are not practicing the way I practice in terms of looking around and being careful. Lots of blood stains, and I've seen many blood stains from the beginning of this game up to this point. So these are petrified bodies of other players, much like the in Dark Souls when you run to the I believe it's the little basilisks that kind of turn you into, I think they turn you into stone, and they can curse you. So same thing here. So I'm taking this guy out, and what you'll see here is I'm gonna go into this cave, and there's a salamander down there, but there's also these guys here that once they don't come out at all until you enter the cave. They'll try and sneak up behind you, and because I tend to move my camera around, I was able to spot them. So be very careful when you go in there. Every time you go in that cave, they will come in from behind. Unless you have killed them and haven't visited a bonfire, they will come. So here I am trying to foolishly pick off this salamander from back here, because I figured at the time that his fireballs are hitting the wall, so I can just pick him off little by little. So I throw an arrow, and I wait for my opening. He throws a fireball, and it's right at me. There it is. Very dead. So, if you've seen this before you play the game, don't do that. And again, as much as you might be a veteran player, I mean, I played Demon Souls, I played Dark Souls, there's always a surprise. So since I had died and came back to the bonfire, I decided to go up and get that item. So here I am, carefully coming off the ledge, and it's a divine blessing. And from here, I just drop down. Now you can see I'm human here. So I decided, this is at the point where I decided to use an effigy, excuse me, because I had died enough times that it was starting to affect my HP very badly. So there I got my body, and I come back out, and I forgot this cave, and I went in here to get this item. So, and that soldier helm, which I probably won't even wear, but you know, I'll hold on to it, sell it at some point in the game. So I decided to go back into this cave and get that item on the floor there that you saw. And there's a door to the left here, and it opens so slowly that you're bound to get hit. So just make sure your health is full before you open that door. And then here's the treasure chest that I don't believe I bothered striking, because I think, considering the work it takes to get in here, I'm pretty confident that it's not a mimic. And it turns out to be a fire sword, a fire longsword. So I actually hold on to this, and I do use it later on in another part of the game that you will see in another uploaded video. And that's pretty much it. At this point, I had decided to return to the bonfire, and that's it for this part of Dark Souls 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you can check out part 3 on my channel.